Hello and welcome to my review of the 1/60th scale perfect grade Strike Gundam. In this part of the review, we'll be going over the box, part of the plates, two of the manuals, the physical parts of the Gundam, as well as some of the background information on the Strike Gundam. First, we have the front box of the Strike Gundam with its name written there, as well as many of its information such as model number, pilot, height, weight, armaments, and the perfect grade logo. And it is made by Bandai of Japan. On the side of the box, we have a nice picture of the Grand Slam, the action poses this kit can do, the posability of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, as well as various shots of the model kit itself, including the beam rifle, the cockpits, the weapons, the beam rifle again, the open hatch gimmick, the arms, the hands, the inner frame, as well as many other things, such as information, as well as the batteries needed. This perfect grade Strike Gundam retails for the price of 14,000 yen, or about $150 here in the United States. Now, I've already built the perfect grade Strike Gundam, so I cannot show you all the plates, but it includes 25 runners with many distinct parts, such as a giant chrome plate for the Grand Slam, as well as many of the pipings, and a very nice A plate with clear parts that you can paint for the scope, the eyes, and other places. Here we have the two manuals, the construction manual, which will physically teach you how to build the Gundam, as well as the instruction manual, which gives you basic info and some nice line art of the perfect grade Strike manual of the perfect grade Strike Gundam. On top, you have the instruction manual, written in very bold letters, a very nicely lined perfect grade Strike Gundam, as well as the GAT X105 Strike Gundam. When you first open up the instruction manual, you get a very nice splash page of the actual model itself, including the light-up eyes, the pop-up cockpit open gimmick, the arms, the armor shiners, the arms again, the hands themselves, the pop-up gimmick, and the very nice posability, as well as the Grand Slam armor shiner, the shield, the beam rifle, the very nice signature Strike armor shiner pose, the full pop-up gimmick, the fully armed Strike Gundam, as well as the inner frame and a paint guide. Now here we have some background information on the Strike Gundam, which shows its distant sister unit, the Astrays, which are based off of the 5 GAT units. And here we have more of a dynamic pose of the Strike Gundam. Moving on, it shows the perfect grade Strike Gundam's good posability, as well as its closer sister units, the Duel, the Buster, and the Strike. Down here is a very nice graph showing off how the 5 GAT units are meant to be used in battle, with the Blitz going off to the side and sneaking up on the enemy warship, the Buster staying in the back, the Duel in the center, the Aegis as a commander stays forward, as well as the Strike as he swaps between his 3 Strike variants. Flipping forward, we have the box art and some scenes from the anime. Very nice splash page. Going on, it talks more about the weapons, including the Grand Slam, the beam rifle, the armor shiners, as well as the shield, and its 3 signature packs: the AL Strike, the Sword Strike, and the Launcher Strike. Moving on, it talks more about how it was hijacked, as well as the attack on Heliopolis, and a very nice CGI wallpaper. On the last page, we get the splash page of where to put all the stickers that they give you. And they give it you in color, which is very generous of them. And even shows some shots of the Gundam with the stickers on. And on the back, you have a very, very nice CGI art of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, with the words perfect grade GAT X105 Strike Gundam version 1. Does it mean we're going to get a version 2? Probably not. Next, we have the actual construction manual, which will tell you how to put this Gundam together. I always like the blueprintish outfit of the construction manuals that Bandai give their Gunpla kits. On the first page, we have a very nice line art of this perfect grade Strike Gundam with all its weapons and the table of contents. Flipping it over will reveal all of the plates that you get with this, as well as the die-cast metal parts and how to put the screws on. You get 25 plates in all, with some duplicates. First, we start off by building the legs. I really like how they show you what plates you will need, making building this Gundam a lot easier. After building the feet, we go on to the legs, After finishing building the legs, it will teach you how to operate the open hatch units, as well as the waist unit, the chest unit, and then the actual head unit. After the head unit, we go on to build the weapons, the shield, and the awesome Grand Slam. After finishing all the weapons, we continue on to the shoulders with their pop-up gimmick, as well as the physical arms, and the very posable perfect grade style fingers. After you completely assemble this, it will show you how to attach all the weapons, as well as some of the cool poses you can do. Now for some background information of the Strike Gundam. If you plan to watch Gundam Seed, or are watching it, you should probably avoid this part if you don't like spoilers. Now, the Strike Gundam was developed along with the 5 other units, the Blitz, the Duel, the Buster, and the Aegis, which are all getting master grades this year as part of Gundam Seed's 10th anniversary. Now, the 5 suits were initially designed to be built and piloted by naturals, but however, Saft intertwined and was able to successfully hijack and modify 4 of the 5 suits, with the Strike Gundam being left in the hands of Kira Yamato, the main character, who uses it pretty well for half of the series until it gets blown up by the Aegis. Here we have all the parts of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, which includes 2 awesome legs, the accessories, the waist unit, the chest unit, the head, separate shoulder units, as well as a very cool looking arm. I'm going to start with the head unit of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, which looks very cool with a very nice set of V-fins, as well as very nice details such as vents in the back, and even some patterns behind the white V-fins. Now, there is an LED gimmick for this, however I do not have the appropriate LEDs, so I cannot show you. However, this is still a very nice head, and taking the armor apart makes it show it's very cool. After the head, we have the chest unit of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, and it is the typical blue, red, and the grayish white color. Now, the actual chest itself looks pretty good, and mobility for the arms are pretty good. It can lift up very well, though it is kind of stiff. It shows some chrome piping right there, and it can pull out pretty far for the arm to go out and possibly touch the other shoulder. Now, the neck mechanism is on a slide mechanism, which slides forwards and backwards pretty well. Now, for the lower part, this part rocks back and forth and has no mobility, has some mobility, but not a lot, back and forth. Now, overall, this is a pretty good chest. And next, I'll show you the Cockpit Gimmick. Next is the Cockpit Gimmick, which is pretty common for perfect grids. You first slide this part down, and then pull out this blue part, slide it forward, and you get a small figure of Kira Yamato sitting in there. It's very nice. And if you notice, there is a computer screen right there, which can be flipped down to make it look like Kira is working. Pretty nice chest, and it has great mobility. Next are the shoulder units, which are pretty unique to the Strike, with their pop-up gimmick to mount the different striker packs. First off, it can slide up pretty far, bend in pretty much. There's a part up here to flip open for the pop-up gimmick, as well as very nice stickers that don't really peel off because they're so big. The pop-up gimmick is pretty simple, though sometimes you will want to be careful. Pretty nice. The arms of the perfect grade Strike Gundam are nicely designed. You have a very, very stiff joint here, which will rotate 360 to give you very good mobility, as well as a very nice bend, 180. Now you will notice a splitting armor right here. Very nice. The splitting thighs are pretty common for master grades, but splitting arms, something they don't have yet. Now another gimmick on the back is meant for the shield, and for the pop-up gimmick. Slides open and closes pretty easily. Another gimmick that isn't included in the master grade or the real grade is the fact that the arm part slides up, revealing some armor, and possibly a bit of inner frame. This is used mainly for the pop-up gimmick, which goes off pretty easily. Next are the very posable perfect grade hands. These are very easy to put together, and they are individually jointed. They also have a peg in the hand to mount something like the Grand Slam or the beam rifle. The very nicely detailed waist unit, which has a lot of inner frame exposed, as well as full inner frame for the front skirts, back skirts, and part of the side skirts. As you can see, I have already attached part of the legs because this is very stiff, as it should be. Now, the perfect grade Strike Gundam waist unit includes the swinging legs, which you can unlock this part and then swing these parts forward. Don't worry about this part breaking though, that is die-cast metal, it's not going to break. Next we have a slide part, which reveals a hole for the action base, which does not come with the perfect grade Strike Gundam, but rather the perfect grade Ale Striker and Skygrasper add-on edition pack. Now there are a lot of nice details, including a lot of lighting opportunities and vents on the back for the thrusters. Next you can pull this part out to reveal the port that you will attach the beam rifle into. And next, the most important part, is the side skirts will open up to reveal the armor Schneiders, which I will go over in the accessories section. Very nice and very posable legs of the perfect grade Strike Gundam, which is very long, very big, and very nicely detailed, with a splitting thigh, many decals, as well as a very nice bend. As you can see, during the bend, the thigh will split open, revealing some chrome pieces on top, but this will mainly be covered by the waist skirts. And as you keep on bending, the kneecap will start to slide, and eventually become very flush, showing off some very nice pistons, as well as the inner frame. Now, onto the lower leg, the feet have pretty good mobility off to the side, and you will notice that as you pull it up and back, that this part will slide. Very nicely done, Bandai. Now, the feet themselves have very nice detail on the bottom, some thrusters, and very nice chrome piping down there. Now this part will bend down to give you very nice kneeling posability. However, do realize that you cannot bend this part alone, but you have to pull it back and then bend it forward. Overall, a very nice leg, along with the pop-up gimmick of these parts sliding open. That'll be all for the first part of this review. You can check back next time to see the second part of the review, which includes the assembled perfect grade Strike Gundam and its posability, its flaws, and my final thoughts.